It's now 4 years since the Grenfell fire disaster in London, and the governments, or various governments that have been in charge since 2017, have said that dangerous cladding is one of the main priorities. But in Birmingham, Labour says as few as 2 out of the region's 121 dangerously clad buildings have been fixed since Grenfell, but the government says this is completely false. Analysis of the figures by Labour from the Department for Housing, Communities and Local Government shows that there are a minimum of 119 buildings in the wider West Midlands with dangerous cladding yet to be remediated. There is lots to go through here. And we are joined now on the line by Eva Nazem from BrumLag. We'll talk more about BrumLag in just a second. But Eva, hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Yeah, presumably, and so we'll go into this in more detail. But you agree with Labour on this argument?
Absolutely, it's nowhere near enough what's happened, what's been done so far.
So I didn't want to use the word anniversary for Grenfell because it's not an anniversary. Anniversaries are not a good things. They're nice things and things to be, yes, remembered but celebrated. This is not an anniversary. In fact, it's the fact that 4 years have gone by, and if you think about the things that have really prioritised the government and the news over the last 4 years, two main things, obviously, coronavirus and Brexit. But all the while, this ticking time bomb of dangerous cladding has been going on, and it's frightening.
It is. It's appalling that not enough has happened since Grenfell. And you're right. It's not something we can celebrate. That 4 years on, it's still not fixed. It's still not sorted. There are so many issues, and it's not just cladding. And it's hard to start. It's hard to imagine the scale of this, and the government still doesn't know quite what the extent of the problem really is. They're refusing to make those surveys and do the analysis, and confining it just to the cladding, the type that was on Grenfell, is not enough. There are a million other problems. There's insulation problems. There's other types of cladding that are a problem. There's missing fire breaks, buildings that were signed off by building control as being safe, and yet they're not. This just isn't good enough.
It's not. No, Labour say that their figures show that more than 30,000 people in Birmingham alone are still living in buildings with potentially dangerous cladding. This has been disputed by the government. So it's inappropriate to combine the number of ACM buildings remediated, the type that was used at Grenfell, the aluminium composite material, with an estimate of high-rise residential buildings with non-ACM cladding into one statistic. So, you could say whatever you like. These two sides are at each other's head, arguing about numbers and statistics. That their lives, they're people's lives, and their safety. And I feel really passionate about this, and I know you do too.
Absolutely, it is. It's true. It's numbers, and they don't take into account that they are people that are affected. It's people's lives that are being put at risk, and that's really what should be the priority. And there's the government have pledged £5 billion, which is a lot of money. We don't dispute that, and we're grateful for that. But it's only to remedy one small part of the problem. It doesn't resolve everything. But the government continually saying that it will fix the cladding problem is misinformation. It's not anywhere near enough to fix the problem. The problem's far deeper and far wider than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as BrumLag is concerned, I mean, tell us a bit about BrumLag.
So BrumLag was an organisation set up just over a year ago in February last year by the residents affected in one particular building in Birmingham, and then it quickly spread to other because so many buildings are affected, other buildings became involved with the organisation, and it's residents, it's people who live in these buildings who set this up as an action group to challenge the government on what's being done to remedy their buildings and make them safe, and to look at the problem more deeply. So it's a resident-led and affected leaseholders-led organisation that across Birmingham, and there are also other organisations across the country in other cities, and then a national organisation that we're all part of as well. So it's such a huge problem, and it just affects everybody across the whole country. That we're the group that covers the Birmingham region, the West Midlands region.
What amazes me about dangerous cladding and the issue, and as I say, we all remember the harrowing pictures on that. I believe it was a Wednesday or a Thursday morning in 2017. Whenever in the past you heard the word asbestos mentioned with a building, it was like, asbestos, we've got to get out of here. It's dangerous. Move everybody out. There's dangerous asbestos here. With cladding, there's cladding. We're doing something about it. And okay, they've all been done in Wolverhampton and the Black Country, and we've already started on Birmingham. But it's being done. And at the same time, we've just gone through a year of being told we've got to stay in our homes. And these homes aren't safe.
No, they're not. And people are trapped in so many senses of the word. They're trapped in their unsafe homes. They're mortgage prisoners because they can't move or sell their properties. They're worthless. They're trapped. We've had a year of lockdown and people are trapped in these homes. They're not safe. People can't rest. They can't sleep. The stress is appalling. The financial burdens that are coming their way, it's not something anybody can just relax about. It's awful. The situation is absolutely awful.
I saw that actually this week. The reports that the value of properties is listed at zero.
Yes, and that's because until the properties are made safe, a valuer can't give it a value in order for a lender to lend money. It's worth zero. We can't sell. The banks are insisting on having a report that says there is no fire safety issue in your building in order to be able to lend money on it. And understandably, it's an asset that the bank isn't going to fritter away their money on. So it just means that everybody is just stuck. We can't raise any more money from the bank because the property's worth zero. And yet we need to find the money to fix these properties. And people are getting bills for 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. And who can afford that? Where is that money going to come from? It's not imaginable how this is going to be resolved.